Hi everyone, today we're going to learn how to count and also how to add using Cuisenaire blocks. So, numbers, if you look on a number chart, you can see that the numbers themselves, it's a progression. Of course, it goes from 1 to 100, and every time you add on an extra number, the numbers, of course, go up. If you go right across, you add an extra number as you go, and if you go up and down, you add an extra 10. You have your 10s in one column, and then of course 1 plus 11. 1 plus 10 is 11, 11 plus 10 is 21, and so on. So we're going to learn numbers, or look at numbers and number steps, and also look at a little bit of adding using, not the number chart, but using something called Cuisenaire blocks. So these are Cuisenaire blocks. So each little one cube is about 1 centimeter. And it goes from 1 to 10, sort of like stair steps. And each time you go up an extra 1 or an extra block, you end up increasing the value by 1. So for example, you have 1, you have 2 blocks, then you get 2. 3 blocks, you get 3. An extra block and you get 4, and so on until you get all the way to 10. And the really cool thing about these is that each particular color represents a number. So if you're trying to teach your child numbers, and then you can also teach them to associate it with colors, and it makes it a lot more fun, and it makes it a little more easy to remember. So here I have a bunch of 1 cubes. And of course there's 4 cubes. So if I take a 4 block and put it beside it, you or your child can visually see that 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 4. And you can do the same thing with the other ones, where if you take a 2 block, you can easily see that 1 plus 1 is 2, and so on. And just to show you, you can do the same thing with 3. And each block represents 1, and it goes pretty much up in increments, all the way up to 10. So what you can do is you can show your child the progression of numbers, so how they increase, so you can visually see the increase in numbers, or you can teach simple addition using the Cuisenaire blocks. So if you're doing 1 plus 3, for example, you have 1 and you have 3. So 1 plus 3 is what? So of course you know that that's 4. So if you put them together, and on top you stack 4 blocks, your child can easily count that 1 plus 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, which is pretty simple or self-explanatory. You can do the same thing with 3 plus 4, where you're adding 3 plus a 4 block, and you put them together. 3 plus 4 is 7. And if you want to look at them one by one, you can stack them together, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And just one more. Your 5s. 5 plus 5, put them together, and you get 10. You can also visualize half. A half plus a half, put those together, and you get a whole. 5 plus 5 is 10. Another thing that you can do with these, which kids sometimes like, is finding out how many different ways you can make the number 4, or how many different combinations. You can have, of course, 4. Or you can take 2 reds, which is 2 plus 2 equals 4. Or you can do 3 plus 1 equals 4. Or you can do 2 plus 2 equals 4. And then you can stack them up so that you get a visual of all the different combinations that you can use to make 4. And of course you could do that with 10, you could do it with 9, 8, and all, and the rest of the numbers. It's kind of a fun thing to do, and it reinforces numbers and also the relationship between numbers, which is pretty much what math is all about. So that's it for now for the Cuisenaire blocks. Next time I'll talk about maybe fractions or something else with the blocks and other tools that you can use with your child. Bye.